Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. So today we're going to be talking about this one is going to be, I'm going to give you a little bit of tough love, a little bit of hard. It's not really even harsh, but what I'm going to say, I'm just letting you know it's going to be a little bit harsh. Okay, you ready for that? All right. This question is, or this title is, how to stop feeling trapped at my parents' house. And I got this question from AJ, and he says, hi, John, I'm a 26-year-old student who's almost done with his study application development. I still live at home with my parents. My brothers left the house a few years ago. Sometimes my parents treat me as a child, and I don't feel like I'm taken seriously. Sometimes my brothers also treat me this way. It's annoying the hell out of me. It gives me anxiety. I want to live a better life and don't stress out so much, but financially it's not possible right now. Help. Additional info, I'm a student and don't have a girlfriend. So, AJ, you are a child. You are 26 and you're living at home. You are a child. Now, again, there's the harsh thing. Now, I don't mean to say this in a bad and negative way. I'm just saying from a couple of perspectives. From your parents' perspective, you are, there's no difference. I think to some degree your parents will always see you as a child. That's just how parents are. You know, some people say, I think probably Iron John, Bob Bly would probably agree or would probably say that you do not become a true man until your father dies. Now, that sounds kind of harsh, but to some degree, there's still going to be that little bit of the childhood, that child in you, even if you're a man, until you have taken the role of your father. So that exists, that's something to think about. But just in the context of you living at home, your parents are supporting you. They're taking care of you. You're living in their house, okay? You don't have the financial means to support yourself. You are not yet a man. I'm sorry. You're 26. I know you might feel like a man, but you are not a man. If you are not taking care of yourself, if you're not supporting yourself, you're not a man. Now, I'm not blaming you. Do not take this in the wrong way. I'm not saying that what you're not doing is a smart choice, is a good strategic choice to live at home while you're going to college. That's fine because you're doing something with your life, right? If you're like 30 living at home because you can't get a job and you're just mooching off your parents, you're just a loser, right? But at your stage, right, it's okay. Your childhood is a little extended, and that's to some degree okay because you're doing something. Now, there's a trade-off here, right? If you want to be a man, you got to step out and be on your own. That's just how it is. So until then, you're going to be a child. You're going to be treated like a child and be expected to be treated like a child. That doesn't mean that you should, that you should tolerate every kind of childish treatment that your parents slap on you or your brothers, but you have to understand that they're going to, in general, and to some degree you're going to have to take it because what can you do about it? You've got no power, you've got no control, you do not own your life, you haven't taken charge of your life and stepped into that role of manhood yet, and that's, like I said, that's okay, but you got to make that choice. Now, you could make that choice. You could say, well, I'm going to go and I'm going to get a job, do some kind of a part-time job, and I'm going to pay for my own schooling, and I'm going to pay for my own room and board and meals and support myself in some way. And you might think that's impossible, but I know plenty of people that do it, right? I know a lot of people that do it. Maybe they get a part-time job, or they save up money, or they become an entrepreneur and build a side business while they're going to school and put themselves through school, or they delay school for a while they, figure things out and get themselves self-sufficient first. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that it's a choice. And so, what I'm saying here is that you just have to understand that this is going to happen and that this is okay, and you're going to have to deal with it, right? And when you get out on your own and you have your own house and you make your own rules and you're your own man, you don't have to be treated this way. But as long as you're dependent on someone else, they're going to have their hooks into you. And that's one of the good reasons in life why to be very careful at who you let yourself become dependent on. because they're always going to have their hooks in you when you're dependent on them. Again, I'm not saying that your parents are doing this out of malice. I'm not saying that they're bad people. I'm not saying that you're a bad person. I'm not saying you're lazy. I'm not saying that anything bad about you, to be honest with you. I'm just telling you the reality of the situation so that you can understand it. Because the sooner that you understand the situation, the sooner that you can either do one of two things, right? And this is where it all comes down. This is where life comes down to. I'm telling you right here, is one of two things you can do. One, you can accept the situation. You can say, look, this kind of sucks. It's kind of emasculating, but I'm living in my parents' house. They're paying for my food. They're paying for my school. I'm going to allow myself to be treated in this way for now, because I'm going to live. It's a smart strategic move, because I'm going to not go into debt. I'm going to save a bunch of money. I'm not going to, be wasting my time. I can focus on my studies instead of doing a part-time job. And then when I finish my degree, I can go out on my own. So I'm making the sacrifice. So I'm accepting it. Or number two is this. You can say, I'm not accepting this. I am rejecting this. I am going out on my own. I'm changing the situation, right? If you don't accept something, you must change it. You have always those two choices in life. Life is always about that. You either accept a thing, or you change the thing, or you shut the fuck up. And I do not mean to be harsh about that, but complaining and whining and wishing things were different never ever solves anyone's problems, and it just makes you a pest. It makes you annoying. It makes you someone who feels like they're entitled in life. So figure out what you want to do, right? You want to step out, you want to be a man, you want to be a man now, you got to get out of your parents' house. You can't have them supporting you. If you're okay with making a specific strategic choice that you're going to stay in your parents' house and continue while you're finishing up your school, again, I'm not going to judge you. That's fine. It's a perfectly valid choice. But just realize you are going to be treated like a child, because in some essence, you are a child. You're a dependent, right? That's what a child is. And so they're going to treat you in that manner. And just know that your parents are always going to treat you like a child no matter what. But the difference is you don't have to take it if you're out on your own. If you are being supported by them, you're going to have to shut up and deal with it. All right, I hope that you found this video useful. I think that a lot of people are in this situation. If you did, if you didn't, if you just want to move on and see the next video that John does, click that subscribe button below, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.